steadily the best.
It's an exciting Thursday afternoon. We are here once again to x-ray what is happening in the country on the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. I am Wilson Omasha. Not to worry, Rosa Bolaho is around the corner trying to gather more intel to push broadcasting forward. Until then, I'll be presenting him today. Well, today on 60 Minutes Nigeria, we're going to be zooming in on two topics. Here's the first one is current security situation in the country. There's the recent killings, the recent kidnapping, throwing off a military base in Borno, despite the fact that there was an open opportunity for the efforts to react to the cry or call for help, or what you call SOS, by the military battalion in that particular cantonment, so to speak, or barracks, for them to intervene using air power to at least complement the effort of the military personnel. No help came, and they were overrun by terrorists. And that was so sad. You go to Ondo State, you know the story so well. What about Kwara? Over hundreds killed, some kidnapped. It's so crazy. People say that it's getting worse as the day pushes towards 2027. Well, that is on one hand. On the other hand, we're taking a look at also the overpowering shadow of the APC as our election approaches. You heard about, yes, a governor of Zamfara State, right? They comes again to the APC. No thanks to the appeal court judgment favoring a faction of the PDP. But right now we're just talking about peace in the PDP. People are asking, who are you going to make peace with after the party has been balkanized? We'll take a look at this too. We'll start off with the first one about the current security situation in our country. Me here in the studio, I have a clergyman, political affairs commentator, political analyst. Join me to welcome Bishop Bright Olumese. Thank you so much, Bishop, for taking our time to be here.
Good afternoon, Wilson. Good afternoon, viewers at home.
All right.
Thank you.
And so very close to him, he's an Islamic scholar, academia, political analyst, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Alhaji Ahmed Iwaike. Thank you so much for being here. Despite the period, I appreciate the resilience and the strength that you have to be here in the studio.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wixing. Thank you, viewers at home.
And join us virtually all the way from Lagos. He's a political analyst, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Honorable Paul Ogido IGWC. Honorable Paul, thank you so much for taking our time to be with us. Okay, we will have our connection right. Definitely you get to hear from Honorable Paul. Now let's start off with the gentleman I have in the studio. Yes,
Good
Bishop.
afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
It's like, okay, Paul, Honorable Paul is there. Paul, thank you so much for making it on time despite the, you know, topsy-turvy nature of connectivity, so to speak. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
All right,
Yeah,
it's so good to hear from you.
Good afternoon, the good people of Edo State, and my dear brothers in the studio there. You are all welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's put the show on the road. Bishop, the current security situation is disheartening. It is alarming. Some be like it is scary. Now, despite the fact that Americans, the U.S. government, they did their best to show power, to show that they are watching with keen interest what is happening in Nigeria, maybe one or two moves. Bombs exploded, cut save them, and of course we're told that we have some U.S. foot soldiers in Nigeria gathering intel, sharing information and all that. But In your own analysis, are things really getting better for this country when we talk about security situation?
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Wilson. And viewers at home, I want to say Nigeria's situation right now is called for special concern when it comes to security issues. One of the biggest challenges I have with the security issue is that it's like there's no political will. You know, I've actually submitted here over time that Nigeria's security situation does not just need power. Yeah, you could see that the America came, they did what they do. No, it's more or less intelligence gathering.
Intelligence gathering.
Intelligence gathering. There's a big problem, and we're not seeing so much from the federal government, so to say. Okay, now when you go around the world, when you talk about intelligence gathering, you're talking about liaison with people like the Israeli. When you talk about force, you go to America and all of that. This is the Nigeria situation. We need it, because if you look at, we are fighting this kind of war where your armed forces, your air force, the synergy is not there. The attack in Borno it called for a lot of questioning. And when you listen to some of these armed men, they will tell you that, look, they like, when they want to carry out an attack, the banditry they want to attack gets the information before they come there. And you know the way that landscape is. Distance between where they are operating and where they got information. So we need an intelligent, we need a serious intelligence deficit. We have serious intelligence deficit in this fight against insecurity. And it's crippling, it's destroying Nigeria. If you go, there are so many, traveling bans on Nigeria state. I was to host somebody that they said no. He said this country won't allow him go to certain part of Nigeria because of insecurity. For a developing nation who need investors to come develop, you are romancing insecurity. We are treating security with kid gloves. No. The disheartening thing is that you just hear over 100 people killed here, and after an hour you won't hear anything again. No reprisal. Know that these people who carried out this attack had been arrested or had been. It's terrible. Right. So now the point that we're trying to say here is like the government also. It's either they're overwhelmed or they're complicit.
All right. I will come back to you, Bishop. Well, Alhaji, you heard him. What really got a little bit worked up was when I saw the footage. These soldiers in Borno State, one of their barracks or cantonments, so to speak, they saw them coming. They said they're redoing to the Air Force for help, according to reports. But for what they said, help didn't get there on time, no air support, and many of them lost their lives. With the U.S. coming to show that particular strength in Nigeria, did it make things worse?
Thank you. Let me start from that angle of U.S. coming, whether it makes it worse or not. Some of us were among those who actually was against the coming of the United States, despite the fact that we know that, yes, the security issue have actually overwhelmed our Nigerian armed forces, that to the extent we deserve to get a foreign support to ensure that we curb this whole thing. But from the antecedents of the United States that we have followed suit, right from the little knowledge we have even gathered, the United States have never come to any country and left the country even better than the way the country was. They've never come to any country to actually help them to solve their problem. Rather, they have always come for their own interest. It's just more like politics. And there are other countries that are actually suffering this insurgency. The United States is not there because of probably what they are looking for is not there. But countries that have what they are looking for, they are always there claiming they want to form one or two support or the other. So we have always opined that, yes, we know that this security have overwhelmed our security architecture, no doubt about it. We have said that several times on this studio. To the extent we have even called for changing of hierarchy, so the extent it was changed. Up to now, to no avail. But we know that coming of the United States will not substitution because they have what they are looking for. And since they came, they said they shoot one bomb somewhere, and even the villagers were claiming the bomb landed on an empty land and nobody was killed, but somebody claimed bandits were killed. But today, if the bandits were actually killed, where are these ones now coming out from? So to me, they are coming is intelligence issue as well again, just to be on the ground to gather some intelligence and probably what they are looking for, so that they will know what they are looking for and continue to do what they want to do. And at the end of the day, they go, because to the end, I don't really see America really wants Nigeria to be a better country. Because if they actually want Nigeria to be a better country, most of these things I think they said they want to do, because nobody wants the Nigeria to be better than them, because you know that Nigeria becomes the way God has created Nigeria, even in the map. Now with the resources we have, if Nigeria becomes great tomorrow, we will become the new heaven. We will become the United States. You understand? So I don't think the West actually, wish Nigeria well. You understand? Since they came now, like as you said, have we actually seen any changes? And I don't think America will tell me they don't actually know where these people are. They do. Because with the level of intelligence America have, like my brother have actually opined, with the great intelligence of the Israeli government, Israeli always work pari passu with the United States of America. So there's no way you would tell me that as long as you use Android phone, wherever you are in this country is well known. Even of recent, we've just been told that Google have just bought a big security company from the Israeli government, from the Israeli, in the terms of the billions of dollars. What I'm trying to tell you is that as long as you use Android phone as a Nigerian, your whereabouts is not hidden. Your conversation is not hidden. Whatever you do is not hidden. In fact, with the use of this Android phone that we are using, there is nothing like secrecy or you are hidden. No, it's open. It's just if they mean you, they will tell you your location and where you are, and they will come actually get you. So if they really wish and want to actually assist Nigeria in curbing this insurgency, we would have heard that by now, heads would have started rolling. But today, as you can see, like as you said, it's either going from bad, not to worse. You understand what I'm saying now? So we have not actually seen it. But me, I know from my own little knowledge that what they are coming from is different from what we claim or what we think we are seeing from the TVs or from the newspaper that they want to solve insecurity. No, they don't know what they are coming from. And I believe they must have started doing what they are coming from. So they will leave us to be killing ourselves. Because all the countries America have entered, stepped their foot, they always left it worse than the way the countries ever were.
Okay, let's get to Honorable Paul Ogido Aigi, we see, joining us visually all the way from Lagos. Now, what do you feel about the current security situation? Tying it to what Sheikh Gumi said, that the government of the day know who these terrorists are, they know where they reside, they know everything. Bringing back again memory, a statement accredited to late General Sani Abacha said that if insurgency should exceed 24 hours, maybe, just maybe, the government of the day, or the government rather, is involved. Can you hear me?
Well, thank you, Mr. Witt. Always debated this matter, and we've been doing that over and over again. And today, I'm very sure that it is what we have always said that we will continue to see, and we are going to say again today. The insurgency and those responsible for it are not hidden. The government knows these people. I listened to one of the stakeholders in the North, Sheikh Gumi, when he granted an interview and said that he doesn't go to these people alone. He goes with officials of government. He informed a lot of people in the system. He doesn't just go there alone. That he too is trying to find solutions to this. What does that goes to show us? It goes to show that the government itself knows who these people are. It is not as if they are hidden. Like the last speaker there said, the moment you dial someone's number on your Android phone, your location is no longer hidden. We have seen cases where the police track switched off phones from one state to another in this country. And the tracker takes them down to the very bottom of where that phone is hidden. We have seen that severally. These guys perpetrating these dastardly acts, they are not hidden. They make calls. They are on TikTok. They are on Facebook. So for anybody to say they don't know where they are, it is not a story that is meant for the adults. Those stories are meant for children. In fact, those in the nursery school that you can tell anything. And it's getting worse by the day. If you tune your social media, you open the pages of the social media, you will find that there are occasions where you won't be able to eat if you have human feeling. I have gone to bed without dinner on several occasions because of things I see on social media concerning the insecurity in this country. We are in a very sorry state, a very sorry state. And if you ask me, nothing is being done about it. If anything is being done right now, I think whatever is being done is not enough to show that something is being done. Because all the, I don't know, I don't want to call it efforts, because if I call it effort, it's like something is being done. It's like they are playing gimmicks with the insecurity that is ravaging this country. The basic reason for poverty, hunger, and starvation in Nigeria today, which is the biggest problem facing the citizens of this country, is coming down from insecurity. Take insecurity away, nobody have a right to starve in Nigeria. Talking to you, I used to be a farmer myself. I found that I made money from it. And I will tell you the truth. I made a lot of money from farming. Today, that is not possible anymore. It is not just me. Every other person that farm that I know in the area where I farm, nobody is in that environment anymore. And I doubt if they were able to relocate to other places to farm. So how are we going to tackle the food challenges that we have in this country?
All right, thank you.
The time will come when you go to the market.
I will definitely come back to you. All right, now let's get to hear from Professor Owen Olo, who joined us virtually all the way from Agbo. Prof, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you join us this wonderful afternoon. Now, what do you feel about the topic of discourse, talking about the current or recent security situation in the country and the cost of governance, drawing an analogy from what is really going on, kidnapped victims, killed victims, you just name it.
Mr. Wilson, good afternoon, and good afternoon, viewers at home. It is quite pathetic to say the least, that life does no longer matter to Nigerians. Life does no longer matter to Nigerians, and nobody seems to care about what is happening. But why I use that phrase initially, or rather that sentence, that opening sentence, that life does no longer matter. If we observe what is happening currently now, this is not strange in the sense that towards a regime change, we usually have something like this. You know, it's quite unfortunate. Towards a regime change, or rather towards election year, we used to have situations like this where insecurity will start to rise or be on the increase. Apparently, this is now politically motivated, if you ask me. If you remember vividly, when towards the election of 2015, before the election, insecurity also in this country heightened. And you will want to agree with me that was largely, of course, later expositions came that that insecurity that was experienced at that time was actually sponsored in order to discredit the government of the day and possibly make Nigerians not to look on the side of that government. And here we are again now. The drum has been on about 2027 presidential election. And of course, the politicians, I want to say this, without fear or favor, The human life does not matter to them. They are at it again. The insecurity in this country has heightened. In fact, it's quite unfortunate, it's quite pathetic. And despite the efforts, even though many of us may seem not to know, or rather want to acknowledge that there is effort, but we cannot rule out the fact that indeed there is actually effort. Because, when you are putting effort on something and you have a lot of saboteurs within, people trying to sabotage all about government, people who want to possibly come and be wanting, they want, this government should not return and all that. And you will just see, there are a lot of inside saboteur. This is not really about, this is about discrediting the government, making it unstable. Oh, Nigerians will no longer have faith. Oh, and then, of course, the cry for regime change and all that. It is unfortunate that that life, human life, sacred as human life is, does not matter to our politicians. All they care about their interest. They care about how they will be this and how they will be that. And then so they don't care about people who are dying. All I see here, I see politically motivated terrorism. Politically motivated terrorism. Just like we had it in 2015. That's exactly what is now happening now. And again, we cannot really
to you, Professor Owen. You just hold on. Let's try to get your connection right. You heard him say this might just be politically motivated. After all, it happened in time of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan just to discredit his government. How true is this allusion, so to speak?
Okay, well, whether politically motivated or unpolitically motivated, one thing is sure: government had the responsibility to protect life and property. I hold government responsible over the unending security situation in Nigeria. Other countries has published names of people who are sponsoring terrorists in Nigeria. Nigeria government had failed to publish same. Nigeria government claimed to know the people but had failed to publish same. Either because of the political will to public, or don't want to step on people's toe, but doing this at the expense of the blood of your citizen. You see, what is crime? There are people who want to commit crime, but when they meet equal forces, look at today, the Iranian new leader is looking for assurance to end the war and all of that because he has made equal force. So when you talk about it's for political reason or whatever, that is the reason why we say government has the powers, they have the machineries, they have the money, everything. They only just lack the will. Government is supposed to gather intelligence on knowing who formulated all of this. And this is where the government must come out if they are not complicit. That's why I say it's either government is complicit or government lack the political will. But Nigeria is bleeding. If I can tell you, take this statistic to the market, it won't fail. 90 out of 100 persons in Nigeria, when you give the opportunity, they will leave this country. So, in other words, not because of any other thing, first because of insecurity. The issue of kidnapping right now, even in this our dear state, is on the high side. And all of that. And you, just like our brother said today, you will not imagine what's first of all, the slow response to emergency is even killed it. We were caught a few days ago. They were kidnapping in this serious kidnapping was going on where up to 8 persons were taken. they were making calls. No response. Even the Borno situation has come. So, you know that when the government need to come sit down and say, what is happening? If there is a response, a quick response to security crime, and the people just for people go insecurity, always successful. People want to be recruited. All of that. So we want to call on government. We don't want to know whether it is politically motivated. We don't want to know whether it is sponsored by non-Nigerians or whoever. Government rise up to your responsibility, constitutional responsibility of protecting life and property. Nail whoever it is.
Okay. Playing between complicitness and, of course, political will. From what do you think that the government of the day ought to be doing, but they are not doing? Remember what Mr. President said? He said, look, Nigeria should succumb to fear that will definitely overcome this particular situation. Complexity or inability, come will to really handle the situation. Alhaji.
Thank you. The government have the ability to handle the situation. I will always be concurring. I will concur with Bishop in his opinion that the willpower is actually the thing. Because if not the willpower, I know definitely Nigeria was once rated as the best guerrilla warfare, even in Africa. Do you know what that thing means? That in Africa, guerrilla warfare, Nigerian soldiers were ranked higher. That is to tell you that these persons perpetuating this act, whether they are foreigners or indigenes, that Nigerian military, they are good enough to crush them. So one is stopping them from crushing them. One, the willpower now comes in. Two, didn't you check budgets of other countries when it comes to military defense budgets? Now, brother, it swallows Nigeria budget how many times? What I'm trying to tell you right now is that if you have to fight this crime, you have to bring in money. You have to bring in resources.
We are talking about over 10 billion naira now.
It's still not enough. What is 10 billion?
Because some are saying because of this money, that's the reason why they
have
issues.
No. What if, for example, somebody sponsoring these insurgents have like 50 billion and you are budgeting 10 billion? I don't know. How do you look billion these days? To politicians, billions is not like a million. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying now.
All right, now you just hold on. Want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with your line of thought. We'll be right back. Do not go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is 60 Minutes Nigeria. We'll use 1 hour to peruse on issues that is bedeviling or helping the country. Depends on that particular topic. Well, we're taking a look at security situation in the country, the cost governance. You were making a vital point. Alhaji, before we went on that break, please commence with the points we are making.
Thank you. So what I was saying in essence is that the willpower is one of them. And second, the funding is the biggest challenge to this our security architecture.
And I said money has been given to them.
I am now so
that some accuse of these security agents because they want money. They are causing more trouble.
No.
They are causing mayhem.
I also told you just now that what is budgeted for them is too insignificant compared to those who are sponsoring them, what they have in their bank accounts. I have been in. I have attended series of Security and Peace Council meeting in my LGA. I have listened to the demands and cries of the divisional police officers. What they demand. The truth is that security agencies are, inadequately funded. They don't even have vehicles. When you see on television governor giving healers, how many healers is governor giving police? If he gives 18 healers, for example, are you going to peg them in one pair? Do you know how many divisional police officers, divisional police stations we have in the local government? Some have more than 15 police divisional stations in a single local government. For example, if you bring in only one healers, how can you share it? What I'm trying to tell you in essence right now is that the budget that we are budgeting for security in this country, if they still budget ×5 of it, it will still not be enough to cover this, because our Nigerian armed forces and the security agencies, they are willing, we are strong, we are mentally alert. But the problem right now is that the motivations are not there, the resources are not there, the machineries to use are not there. So do you not expect them to use their personal power, their bare hands to do this thing?
Okay.
So those two factors are the thing. Let the government come up with the willpower by saying, yes, we want to curb this insecurity and to vote a huge amount of money. Don't go and be voting security vote, billions of naira, security vote, millions of naira. The real deal that needed is security, you are not putting it down there.
Okay, now let's get to hear from Honorable Paul. Let's see if he's going to agree with your comment about the situation we're facing right now. From what Alhaji said, he said we need more money. Is money the issue or the willpower, Honorable Paul?
I don't want to agree, but partially, I think my brother there is right to an extent. It is not as if those monies are not there. If you look at what is being budgeted, it's adequate enough to tackle the insecurity, because this insecurity have spanned a long time. We have had it for a very long time, and every year we keep having budgets upon budgets, to curb the menace. But the question we need to ask is, this money is being budgeted, does it trickle down to fighting this insecurity? Are we not aware that even the budget of 2024 is still being pursued, even in 2026, not yet implemented, whereas we already have a year interval? So I think that is one of the problems. The monies, does it go down to what it is meant to do? That is the question we should be asking here. Because we hear these figures. These are humongous figures. These are figures that many other countries cannot even, they just dream it. They cannot realize it for insecurity alone. So for one to say that the monies are not enough, I don't want to believe. What I want to believe here is that the monies being budgeted are not going into what it is meant for. This is what I think. It is my personal opinion. And you will agree with me that a lot of people have this opinion as well, that perhaps due to corruption, these monies are not trickling down. That is the problem we are having. Then as to cost of governance, we know that the cost of governance in this country is one of those problems that is killing the nation. Because everybody, once a budget is rolled out, it is rolled into pockets. There are big politicians with deep pockets that we never allow this to trickle down. We hear people embezzling billions and billions of naira, billions of dollars in their coffers. And you begin to wonder, what do they need this money for? Honestly, no man on earth needs all such money to be able to enjoy their lives. If you have human feelings, you don't need to embezzle 10 billion to be a big man that you want to be, honestly speaking. So I want to also agree that there is no political will right now to tackle insecurity. And that is why we are where we are. If the political will is there to tackle insecurity, I can assure you that this thing will not take 6 months to fix totally. The government knows those who are behind this insecurity. They know their sponsors. The foreign powers have told us who they are, but our government have refused to do anything about it. Even to publish it here, it's not done. So it's a big problem. Now, I want to say that my personal opinion, though, that this government really want to hear and see Nigerians cry. Otherwise, fixing this problem is not too difficult for them to do. Honestly speaking, if they want to fix insecurity, you must.
I will come back to you. All right. Well, his last comments, he said this government really wants to see Nigeria cry. Let's go to Agbo right now, where Professor Owen is standing by. Would you agree to his comment that this government wants to see Nigerian cry, or the government in itself is being overwhelmed and we might just need external help either from the U.S. but also from Israel to make all this go away?
this is exactly what the saboteurs aim to achieve. This is their aim, to paint the government in bad light. The government loses credibility when the government goes to the poll, and of course the government will be voted out. That is exactly what the saboteurs, the people who are behind this is exactly what they want to achieve. They want Nigerians to feel that, oh, this government does not have them at heart. This government is wicked. And it's quite unfortunate that it appears that is the impression that is out there. To say that the government is overwhelmed is to say the least. And I want to believe it is because of that particular reason. That is why the United States offered to help Nigeria. And for budgetary allocation, I would not want to say that the security budget security is underfunded. Because I believe that over 25% of our yearly budget goes to security. The efforts of government may not be paying off as of now. We may not be seeing so much of government effort. But to say that government is making effort, government is making a lot of effort. But we are not seeing these efforts because of some people who possibly are gaining from this whole thing. Some people are gaining, some people are benefiting from this terrorism. Some people are benefiting from these killings. Some people are benefiting when money is budgeted for security. This money will actually pass through Chanel. People are the ones that will buy these weapons and bring back for us to use here. If this insecurity is not completely solved, it means that money may not be flowing their way again. That's on one side. And again, too, those who are also possibly sponsoring it, who are sponsoring it because of a regime change, they have something they will benefit. If the government is discredited, if Nigerians see the government that, oh, the government is not doing enough, and vote this government out, it will benefit them. So the whole thing is just not, it's quite unfortunate that we are where we are. But to say that we cannot pretend, in as much as I know that people may not really like this present government, because even during Jonathan's time, as good as Jonathan was, 2015, when this insecurity issue started, and when the killings in the north, the killings in the north was at the peak. Of course, Jonathan lost credibility in the eyes of everybody. So the government is doing their bit. A state budget where you have over 25% of the budget given to security is a whole lot. Just like the thing may not be trickling down. You have the federal government at that level, and then the federal government is there. We have the state government. This thing is budgeted. There's supposed to be a channel, but sometimes along the channel, you have so many clogs. You have so many wastes. You have so many diversions because of the Nigerian system, the Nigerian factor. Everybody wants to benefit. Everybody wants to get as much as one wants to get, not minding the consequences. Nobody seems to care. I have always said that Nigeria is a country of dog shop dog. We are all sitting on our chair. Everybody is benefiting. Once you are benefiting, you don't care again what happens. Whether people die, whether people don't die, you don't care. So long as you are benefiting from the whole thing. It's unfortunate. The government is doing so much. The government is overwhelmed. And
I will come back to you. I will definitely come back to you. Well, he said the government is doing so much, but some persons are doing everything possible to discredit the government of the day. So they lose confidence in the government, and by so doing may not want to vote for him again come 2027. We can go on and on this particular discussion, but one thing is certain: Nigerians are weary. Yeah. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are tired of receiving call of bringing ransom of over 100 million naira. Sometimes the ransoms they are paid, and the persons in captivity, they are killed. Yeah. And that is the worst part of it. So terrible. Nigerians are really, really tired of this terrible situation. We hope and pray that our government, through the help of other greater nations, should just please put this particular country back in track to the time of peace, tranquility, and of course progress. Our heart goes out to everyone that is in captivity, those family going through severe pains of trying to get that money. Some of that paying money get to it, they've been killed. So sad. Very, very sad indeed. So government, please wake up to your responsibilities. Seek help if you must. Nigerians are really, really tired. Well, that's that for that. Now let's take a look at this other topic that I talked about in course of opening. They show the overwhelming presence of the APCs, like a shadow right now, hovering around the country, swallowing up every other party in Nigeria. Some are saying the end party will have in 2027 election might just be massive. Now, this is the second topic of discussion of today's edition of 60 Minutes Nigeria. Should this call for worry?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wilson. If you want to ask me, I will tell you the defection to APC, the dividends of fuel subsidy removal. You see, the president have a lot of money to give to the governor. They are like new bride right now. Every governor is singing the praise of the president. Unlike the former previous government, when they go to FARC, they fight out of FARC because I think the federal government was accused one time of printing money to make up money. So now what the APC government has done, mop up money from poor Nigerians and giving it to politicians in the name of fuel subsidy removal, and that's what we are seeing. I'm not worried about it. The issue is a concern because Nigeria have no politicians. Nigeria just have businessmen who came to, hustle.
Businessmen
who came to hustle in the market of politics. No ideology, no clear core, manifestos or whatever. It's just where money de belego, stomach affair, stomach infrastructure. It's quite unfortunate. But you see, let me tell you, this is one of the things. I was saying that when I saw that your team, I think we see have started again. Now, if you drag my leg, I will give my leg to drag. And these are my words. The other political party that will stand against APC 2027 is their non-performance. The level of hunger in the society, the level of insecurity, the hard-heartedness of this government and all of that, with anywhere popular Nigeria, just something like what we have in 2023 when we have Mr. Peter Obi movement. If there's any movement that will come in 2027, you will know what is called human revolution and all of that. This campaign is normal. When you have money, you have many brides. People, everybody, you are Solomon. Solomon is rich. He has 700 wives, 300 concubines. Every woman wants to marry a big man and all of that. So we are not perturbed with all this. They are defecting or whatever. It only expose the fact that Nigeria have no politician.
Okay. Nigeria has no politician. You heard it from Bishop Bright Olumese. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, man, I concur with him on the ground that yes, our politicians does not have principles.
They don't have principles.
There's no ideology, which is actually the case. Because now I don't see somebody campaigning on the platform of a particular platform, and that platform ordinarily is supposed to have an ideology. And later, after a while, suddenly you fell in love with another ideology of somebody and said, no, I must have to come because the president is doing X, Y, Z. Gone are those days where we have the Awolowo parties and the Zik parties and the rest. The Awolowo parties then were known for education. Any states that their party is ruling, building of universities and schools were one of the top priorities. That was when parties have ideology. They don't care about what is happening, but that the ideology, they stick to it. But in this case, somebody is in APC today and chants good governance. He goes back to another party, for example, PDP, and he's still chanting the same style of government. No difference. Those that are decamping right now from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress, go and check their states since they decamped in now. If there was any kind of style or change of governance, it's still the same thing. It's still him. There's no difference. So, and it now makes me to now agree with him that majority of them are just said, okay, let me sync with the central so that I can continue to have my benefits. And because they said politics is all about interest. So what happened then, my interest first, not the people's interest. But I think this new electoral act now is trying to streamline some certain things. But okay, register as a political party member. So at this time around now, if I am online, if I say I've registered as an online member of this party, tomorrow if I'm trying to go to this party, I think they have put an expiring period. That there's no way you cannot decamp until that period. I think this is the first step. So at the end of the day, APC should come up and say, this is our ideology. As ADC now is now the new bride, people also come in. They should also have an ideology that will know that, okay, your own is after fighting insecurity. When you are in power, every insecurity is gone. We know that, yes, this party that they fight security, where may they come, they will fight security. We know that, okay, this party, your own is fixing power or education. And if we now know that our educational system is becoming decaying, well, this party can solve it. Everybody will solve this party.
All right, thank you.
Understand? So they should have an ideology first. So I like this electoral act first. Let us see how we can manage this electoral act to see how we can bring in something better. But those decamping, it is not because of good governance, my brother. It's because of lack of principle.
Right. Some of the people that Nigerians don't have politicians the way they used to have them way back. They are not built the same way of old, strong, resilient politicians. Let's give this example. For instance, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he was the only one in the opposition.
And he stood.
He stood his ground. Till this particular moment. Honorable Paul, I mean, if you compare the Tinubu when he was the governor of Lagos State, despite the fact I had this on occasion with Mr. President, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, where subventions, allocations were not being given to Lagos. But the student was able to bring out something to keep the state running. How come politicians of nowadays are not behaving the way old, strong, dogged politicians were built to, like, last?
What do you expect in a country of particular concern where people have lost their dignity, they've lost their integrity, and all that matters to them is their stomach and that of their family and their cronies? The politicians we have over time have been able to weaponize poverty to the extent that even those you tend to respect in the society will, because of how will tomorrow be for me, how am I going to be able to take care of my family, they jump into whatever is given to them. You see a vehicle without tires, no brake, nothing, and you are jumping into it. Something is responsible. And I can assure you, like my colleagues there said, those who are decamping to APC now, it's not because they have anything better or because they see anything better coming out of that party, but because they know already that poverty has been weaponized to an extent that if you stand alone, you may not be able to survive. So it takes a man of integrity to be able to withstand the temptation of going with this party. Imagine removing fuel subsidy, borrowing a lot of money, billions and trillions, into the economy, and nothing is happening. And I can tell you, Mr. Wilson, that cannot tell you the direction of that party. All they care is that if I go into this party, I'll be able to secure my second term. Even if I'm ending it right now, I'll be able to go to Senate as an ex-governor. That is what is going on, honestly. And I will tell you also that a man that is carrying a basket of corn, what do you expect the fowls around it to do? They will run after that man. Bini say, no, the man that is having the basket of the corn is the very man that all the fowls will run after. And that's what you are seeing. All the monies right now are
Thank you.
And so
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, Dr. Owen, briefly, going to have the last line on this discussion because our time is up. What do you think our politicians should do, knowing fully that opposition are beginning to come into the APC in full fold? Senators, House of Rep members, governors, you just name it, is that they're forgetting the vow of the allegiance they swore to a political party. Right now, they are running towards the APC in 1 minute.
We see I want to say that my colleagues over there may not have responded to that particular subject. Let us be sincere when we address issues here. Now, look at all the political parties in Nigeria today. Which political party in this country is stable as we speak? The PDP, there's infighting, there's instability. Labour Party, there's instability, there's infighting. The only party that seems to be free from rancor is the APC. Apparently, that is why many of the politicians, the governors, are not defecting to APC, because that is where we seem to have some level of stability. And if you talk about, removing the subsidy, taking money from the poor and giving to the governors, I would not agree with that, because many of the the presidential candidates for 2023 presidential election also promised to remove subsidy. Now they have removed subsidy, and there's not more money for governors. The Nigerians should learn to hold their governors accountable. The monies are with the governors. The governors are supposed to develop their states with this money. Nobody is asking the governors question. Where the money, the allocation that they get from FAC every month, what are the governors of these states doing with this money? This increased allocation. When you talk about issues like this, I want us to be very holistic and be very sincere. Which party is stable? Apparently, these governors that are decamping to the APC, apparently there is something that they are seeing. They are seeing some level of, maybe they are seeing the president trying to possibly improve the economy and all that. They have their
Our time is up. Our time is up. I know you have so much to say, Prof. You have too much to say. Well, we are pressed for time. You've heard Prof. said the reason why they're going to the APC is because of political stability. After we have issues with the PDP, Labour Party, you just limit APC, according to him, seems to be the best bet. But come on, think about it. The man stood alone. And the man is the one right now in charge. Why can't our politicians just be like Mr. President when he was a former governor of Lagos? Only AD stood against PDP. Only AD stood despite the heat and everything. What is happening to our politicians? Questions for them to really answer. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to this. I know you have your last line, but there's no time for that. I appreciate both of you. And of course, the personnel that joined us visually, I really appreciate all of you. We'll do this again next week, Thursday, God willing. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
Bye. Gbajúmọ̀ ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Gbajúmọ̀ ọba àtọ́pẹ́ yìí.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Viewers, welcome to Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and today on Viewpoint we're going to be talking about the current electricity issues and situations that we as business owners, as individuals, are facing in Nigeria, as over 80% of households lack adequate access to grid, as Nigeria's electricity sector suffers from chronic liquidity trap and infrastructural decay, leading to frequent national grid collapses, with generation dropping below 4,200 megawatts, far short of the 4,000 megawatts required for its citizens and population. It is a Viewpoint on ITV, and we're going to be looking at some of the key issues affecting our electricity sector in Nigeria. I am Caroline Okonji.
terms of security of it, we need light. And based on that, in some areas, it makes it difficult for us when we are on patrol at night. And we are even begging the state government to try and do something, at least by supplying street lights in some area that are dark in the night. In most cases in our community, there are places that is very dangerous, that without light we cannot do anything of such. For so doing, we want, as a matter of urgency, the Edo State government to try and do the needful, so that the security will be okay for us, so that we can be able to work effectively.
The issue of NEPA issue that you came from is very rapid to us, in the sense that the NEPA look as if we are not a citizen of Nigeria, because since a month there's no light in us. We have been passing through. Which NEPA, anytime they came, a minute or 30 minutes to, they will come and bring the light to us. That is, we are not expecting them to come and collect their bill. Indirectly, we are expecting bill from them to come and collect. Within that hour or 2 hours, you will see a number of people with a LiDAR. They will come. They will come. And after their collection, there's nothing like light again. They will block us up. I think before we have this light, they mandated us to buy a meter, which we bought individual. We pay through the NDC, we have our transformer here, not through NEPA. Before we got out this light, they mandated us to write an application of submitting it to the NEPA as a will to them. And we work for it. We should not claim ownership. And we fought for the transformer. And after that, again, they came that there is no oil in it. We pay up to 1 point something a day. Before, after all that, they came up again, said it was meter issue again, that every community, every houses had to have a meter, which we did. We have to. I have my own receipt. I have my paper meter in my residential house here. So after all that again, they came up with a past bill. We, before we make that transformer, got that transformer, we've been glad out for 10 years here. They came with a bill to us again that we need to pay a standing bill. We went to Tessame, their office there. After we left the one at the bypass, they were delivering us before they now refer us to the one at bypass. I don't want to mention name of the manager there. Got him there again. He said we have to go for all those things. We need to fulfill all those things which we did. After that, they now on the light for us. As they on the light, not up to a month, we were seeing blackout again. So at the end of it, we went again. They said it was according to them, that the electric wiring merge. That was the cause that they now cut us off again from EOY again, which we not pay. Pay that amount again. The Chile community, which is Ikabetu, Igbo and Igwekimi. After that, they brought a light for a week again. After a week, they cut us off again. They said EOY is owing. We now went to the office again and told them that if EOY is owing, does that mean it affects our community? We are blackout throughout all this. So before we sort all those things, we have already made up our mind. We can do away with our NEPA. When our father was living with a lamp and all these things, we were enjoying it. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. So if they feel they want to cut us off from this NEPA issue. They should cut everybody off totally so that we will know that we are not with NEPA. Not that after 3 weeks, they will not bring a light under 22 hours or 3 hours. They will come and collect their money. It's unfair to the masses.
The electricity issues and challenges that BEDC in the state is devastating, in the sense that as a minister I suffer a lot in terms of electricity. As an individual, not only me, the entire people of Edo State, and not only in Edo State, Nigeria as a whole, we are really facing electricity challenge in the country, in the sense that we are not getting constant light. Even though the tariff of electricity is high, people don't even get the light. I don't know how the government will enhance constant light for the Nigerian people, especially in Edo State here. We are seeing the government are not taking a proactive step towards this direction. But if the government will be able to ensure that people are paying for electricity and they are not getting electricity, government should take a drastic step in this direction by making sure if people have constant light, people will want to pay for it. But a situation where you don't see light, at the end of the month you see BEDC personnel coming to people's house to come to cut lights, is really a problem. My major concern is that let them provide us electricity and people will pay for it. But a situation whereby we don't have constant light, out of 24 hours, people cannot boast of 3 hours light in a day. It's a problem that we are really facing. People who are doing business cannot do business effectively. People who are doing business, they want to make sure their foodstuff does not get spoiled. Nobody can preserve their food again. Even though they cook, you cannot preserve it. Even though electricity for our artisans to work, they cannot get electricity to empower their equipment in order to boost productivity for the entire society. It is really a problem. The state of electricity in our country, in our state, is very poor. Very, very poor. We don't know how government is creating effectiveness on this aspect. We say Nigeria is generating electricity and the neighboring are getting electricity, and the people that are in this country are not benefiting it. Nigerians, we are crying. As a person, I am crying. We don't say as an individual we don't want to pay for electricity. We are not saying that they should give us light for free, but let them make light available and let people pay for it.
They often tell us the national grid is collapsed. So ultimately it's to develop enough capacity, the whole process of generation, distribution and the rest of it. And then the enabling law, the happy thing recently is that they have said is deregulated. You know, state governments and private investors can now enter the electricity market, generate and sell. So we do hope that will be a great deal of improvement, because without electricity, really, we are going to remain in the Stone Age. You know, we cannot industrialize. Even domestically, we cannot have the comfort we should derive from electricity. You know, we should consider all the options, whether the new sources like wind, solar in our country, so that we're able to generate enough for our consumption. The darkness is a cover for any kind of nefarious activity. Yeah, so if the place is not well lit or substantially lit up, people can ordinarily hide under the cover of darkness to perpetrate just anything, not just robbery, kidnapping and whatever you have. Yeah. Don't also forget that we now have private investors. The government doesn't have so much to do with electricity anymore, apart from regulation. So they also have to maximize their profit. So it may have been a mistake in the first instance, divesting from electricity at the level of government.
Let me talk about the state where I live, where I reside. The total blackout is nothing to write up about. We really suffer when it comes to light. Edo is suffering. I think our governor is trying to, we have to do more. Our Excellency, Senator Monde, our governor of Edo, Executive Governor, you have to do much when it comes to that light issue. We are suffering. There are some of us who can provide electricity for ourselves, solar and all that. Maybe a generator, this was the case, but not everybody. And so at this junction, I think it is expedient that our governor looks straight into this issue and solve this problem. What would I call it? I don't know the right English to use. The right English right now, we have serious problem when it comes to light. Businesses are going down. Those selling drinks, those who have koro, without generator, you can't do anything. And the J is on the high side. Those small jewelry, those are better passing. Our neighbor used to buy them 30,000, 10,000. Now you can't buy it. Then the other one is the Tiger and the LMX 1 point something for ordinary generator. So it doesn't make any sense at all. So begging on our executive governor, the governor that knows what to do, to please to look into us and save us from darkness. Then when it comes to these funny BEDC people, we're raising a child that came from the US and the others. The first thing they learned in Nigeria is NEPA don't bring light. Children brought from abroad. The NEPA don't bring light. Can you imagine such? And so these funny people, 2 days, they'll bring the light, on and off for 2 days. The next thing they'll come with their estimated billing. They start dragging people, wires and all that. It's high time. I think it's high time we stand our ground and let them know that we're not fools. We are Nigerians. We all own this nation. It belongs to nobody. It belongs to nobody and it's for everybody. We should stand our ground and fight for our rights. This BEDC, I bet may they pack, may they go. NEPA still better pass. You can't go out at night when there is no light. The security issue is what the government is trying. I cannot chrome them in one day, but we individual too. Like the police used to say, see something, say something. But sometimes when you say something, they use it as a bait. And so we need to. Edo State government need to give us security as well. Nightlife in Benin is almost gone. But I also want to say kudos to our governor. For the first time, it was December free of bloodshed. It was wonderful. Look, we have most of our people in Nigeria right now, those living in diaspora, those living abroad. Many of them came December and this January. And they came and they're enjoying it. So I believe our excellent governor, our excellency can do more about that to give us more security. Like those if you're traveling from Benin to Akure, Benin to Ifon, those roads are no-go area at night. You can't date. So I believe with all hands on deck and our governor and the police, our CP, let's hope and pray for our action governor to do something about insecurity.
BEDC, since they came in, I don't think they have done well by my own assessment. And darkness is synonymous with demonic things. And they have thrown their city into darkness, Benin City, Edo State as it were, is in darkness. And I think that the government should step into the matter to do something about the situation. Because the way I look at it is that, for me, I think it is deliberate. Because there are some areas that have light. They call it dedicated light. So why can't everybody have the same light? Because there are areas for 2 weeks no light, for 1 month no light. Some people have 3 hours a day. Some people have 1 hour. And if they bring light in this 20th century, people shout, hey! They'll be saying up NEPA instead of up BEDC, which is BEDC. So the thing is that government should step in and help us. People are dying, and most people are paying for darkness. They go there, they threaten people, they bring light when it is wanted for 3 days, 2 hours, 3 days, they come and collect money and they shut it down again. So I think the government should step in. If they are going to be thrown out, they should be thrown and bring people who can give us light, who are ready to pay. It was privatized. That was a good intention by government, but the people that did it, I'm sure they gave it to their cronies who does not know anything about the management of light, and that's why we are where we are. It has really hampered nightlife because you don't work in darkness, and the only thing that is helping us now is this solar that people put everywhere, and some persons that have money to buy diesel and buy fuel. It's not everybody that have that kind of money, so it has really disturbed or hampered nightlife, but government is trying to bring it back by putting street light and everything. So we commend them. We pray that God will give government more power, more strength, more wisdom to do what they have to do. And there's individuals are also trying by helping to lighten up everywhere. So we praise them. But for BEDC, I think they should go. Make better people.
The situation of electricity in Benin here now, I will give them at least 30%. They don't even up to 50% from my area. But I wish the government can improve, because if you see what they happen to us now, we all they use our hand to define electricity. Some of us will go generator for us, some of us will get solar, some of us will go generate big blister. All these people will get like hotel. So I wish the government, if they really improve for electricity, all those generators will become condemned for our hand. You understand? So people are not going to go for it. And money, now they need to put, because that energy, that light will really need that. If light day for this, imagine if you come for here for Silok Road now, government already put light, but in the evening, everywhere will be dark. So where there's light, everything, even the security aspect of itself, anything concerning light is too plenty. Maybe one particular. So we need light. If I come out for office now, if light no day, we will buy generator. At least from office, I buy at least, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 in the first year. Imagine times 1 month, I big money, until money. From then I will see look at it, we come here say we want to go for solar. We can use solar to stabilize them, because solar they give us more, make savings from the fuel aspect of it. So if you get light, nothing like light, your light can carry AC, can carry everything for us. And to the noise, no go even give you that noise issue. So we prefer light more than any other thing.
The light is our problem. We are suffering for light. You can see our business without light, we cannot improve. We need light. The show of light is very, very, very low. I don't know if you're getting it, very low. We need light. The show of light in Edo State is very poor. Patronage is very low. You can see we bought fuel at least every day 10,000, 15,000 a day. But you can stay 2 days, 3 days, no light. The show of business is very, very, very low. Very low. So we are begging government to improve on light aspect. Without light, you cannot sell bulb, you cannot sell fan. You understand? When you have light, you prepare to buy fan. Not everybody can provide solar for his house. Actually, we need light.
Electricity in Benin City or in Edo State has been with mixed feelings, because to some they will give the positive nod that they are faring well with the supply of electricity, but with some become so epileptic of recent. Me personally, I have discovered that we are not paying for what we get, or we don't get what we pay for. The reason being that the regulatory body that's supposed to task the BEDC are not doing enough to satisfy a customer by way of ensuring that you get what you pay for. For those who are using prepaid meter, there are reports that suggest that even the prepaid meter is even overbilling or overcharging consumers as against what the government is telling us. Only recently we discovered that the BEDC keep complaining that the the generation company is not supplying them what they ought to get, which will in turn affect the consumer. And even at a point they also raise the issue of federal government owing them. But just recently, the federal government has paid a huge sum of money to liquidate what they are owing this distribution company. But looking at the experience of consumer in terms of the electricity supply, it is so appalling. They will either give you excuse of faulty transformer, which they left for the consumer to contribute money to fix, whereas it is supposed to be the onus of BDC to fix the transformer so that they can in turn supply electricity to the consumer who pay for that service. It's like you are buying a recharge card. I am not sure that the recharge card you buy is what they give you. It varies from quarter to quarter. It varies from consumer to consumer. For example, for those who have been using the analog or the estimated billing, you will discover that whatever they bring, which is not subject to negotiation, by the time you now procure your own prepaid meter, they will bring everything inside the bill and begin to roll out deductions arbitrarily without consulting with the consumer. Even the estimated billing they brought was not even discussed by the consumer. So, and there is nobody that is there to advocate for the consumer or to leverage on the complaints. Nobody to complain to. So that makes it very, very heartbreaking. So for me, I believe the federal government and indeed the lawmaker, the National Assembly, should set up a body where consumer can run to and lay their complaints so that there can be an equilibrium between the consumer and the BDC, for example.
To wrap it up on Viewpoint on ITV, we're going to be highlighting some of the key issues that was actually mentioned by our respondents, which some said it is as a result of poor maintenance, gas supply shortage, and poor metering, just to list but a few. And the government at all levels, they are expected to do the needful and do the right thing to ensure steady power supply for citizens in order to boost means of livelihood, especially for business owners in the country. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okunji.
ITV, certainly the best.
àtọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Oṣòdì àtọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ọ̀yọ̀bá tọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ọ̀dọ̀yẹ̀ àtọ́jú ọba àtọ́pẹ́. Ẹgbẹ̀túwà.
ITV, certainly the best.
Well, doesn't it just feel amazing to know that it's that special time of the week once again, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, of course, it's another beautiful Monday evening, and it's my pleasure to have you join us on yet another amazing episode of the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television, reaching you live from the city of Benin. Yes, I know there are people who are just joining us for the first time. Well, for the record, the Guys Hangout Show is a unique show that teaches men to put themselves first in a society where it seems like, people hardly pay attention to the needs of men. I always say that men are on their own. In fact, the moment you give birth to the male child, life is already leading him by 1-0. Well, I know that's on a lighter note, but hey, that's actually underscores the harsh reality that men are born into. Well, the Guys Hangout Show teaches men to, prioritize themselves and, of course, invest in themselves just so they'll be able to give out to the world around them. You can't give what you don't have, right? So it's important that you invest in yourself just so you'll be able to, give out to everyone that is depending on you in one way or the other. What you have is what you give. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join me on this episode of the show. Now, tonight we have a very interesting conversation, something that has been, making the rounds on social media lately. It's something that has to do with rape allegations. First off, let's put certain things in proper perspective. Rape is a very, very serious issue. It's not something to play with, okay? Now, there have been several cases of women coming out to complain, or should I say, allege that they've been raped. And of course, every time such happens, there's usually an outrage. And of course, society calls for, justice for such women. But what also happens when there is a false allegation of rape? Because it's really no news that some women, should I say, mischievous women are beginning to weaponize rape. Some women could just wake up one morning and say, somebody raped them. And if proper investigation is not carried out, there is a tendency to believe that it's true. Okay, but that's basically what we're discussing tonight. What happens in the case of a false rape allegation? Well, I'm not alone on the show tonight. I've got my homie in the building. And of course, together we're going to be doing justice to this very, very interesting conversation. Well, he's really not someone new. He goes by the name of Emmanuel Walters.
Yeah, good evening. I'm really excited being here today.
Yeah, of course.
The topic is just making, giving me
it's giving you some sort of
vibes,
ginger.
Yeah.
All right. So it's actually a very interesting. Yeah, it's indeed a pleasure to have you. It's a very interesting conversation, right? Yes, like I said in opening, rape is a serious issue. It's not something to joke with, right?
Yeah.
We've seen cases where women have come out to cry out that they were raped or at least sexually assaulted.
Something like that.
And whenever such happens, we know that society doesn't joke. Society doesn't joke with cases.
Most especially social media.
Right. We hear of calls for justice and the rest of them.
Yeah.
The Ochanya case was a case in point.
Yeah.
But we've also seen that because of the outrage that usually follows, allegations of rape, some very mischievous women have also taken it upon themselves to weaponize it. Weaponize it in the sense that some of them just cook up stories of alleged rape.
Yeah.
Okay, they allege that they were raped by a certain guy, and then before you know what's going on, the guy is already doing time, like doing,
serving his jail sentence,
right?
Yeah.
But after a while, maybe after much investigation,
I end up discovering that the guy was actually innocent. Yeah.
So we have a series of questions to ask in this regard. First of all, what's your take on that? Like, how does it make you feel as a man, knowing that there are men who are falsely accused of rape, and not just falsely accused, but are subjected to punishment and serious, should I say, societal stigmatization?
Yeah. First off, I feel very bad because I'm going to feel very bad because I'm a man myself. You understand? And being a man myself, I feel the pains of other men. You understand? So I imagine if I was in the position, if I was in their shoes, how will I feel? How will it be for me? You understand? So I feel the pains of those men actually. But first of all, before a woman will wake up and cook up a story, there should be something. You get? There should be a reason for that.
Okay.
Because you cannot, for everything you do in life, there's a reason for everything.
There's no smoke without fire.
There's no smoke without fire. It's the psychology of life.
Okay.
You get? Now, there are three major things that I've seen that causes this, that pushes these motives. I call them the 3 C's. You get? First off, clouds. The lady is just chasing clouds.
Attention,
the fame, social media engagements, likes, and you understand. Yeah. Second of all, conflicts, personal vendettas. You get, between she and the accused. Something like, if I can't have you, no one will.
Okay.
You get. Then the third one, cover-ups. Maybe a lady that is married to a strict partner. You understand? She slept late, or she didn't come home early. Now, why you not home early? Then you just give one kind of excuse, and the next thing, you are already accusing somebody. You get, for coming home late.
In other words, it's a gaslighting weapon.
Gaslighting weapon. Thank you. These are the 3 C's that pushes.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of a biblical story. I'm talking about Joseph and
the Potiphar's wife. Yes.
That's kind of similar to it.
Yes, that's kind of similar. That was actually not even similar. It's actually the case.
The exact case,
because it's a forced rape allegation. Because Joseph refused to sleep with Potiphar's wife, she now had to accuse him of rape.
Falsely.
And you understand? We all know the story.
All right, so let's begin. Okay, what factors do you think? Because you've actually made mention of the three C's,
yeah.
right? Now, beyond, can you elaborate more on these factors? You know, the factors that lead to false rape allegations.
Okay. Like, if you check what has been happening on social media, the false rape allegation, the girl from this on Twitter,
yes, the
Mirabel girl. That one was actually clouds. She was just craving attention.
But at first it looked so
real.
credible, so believable.
Yes, that's why people jumped in. Because now, rape is a case that once you put it on the internet, everybody jumps in. Like you said, it's a very, very disgusting act.
Yes.
You get, it's a very, very disgusting act. So now when you put someone out there and say he's a rapist, everybody's against him. You get, everybody's against him. So she was just chasing clout. I think she just thought of, how am I going to get fame now? How am I going to be out there now? Then she just decided to go with rape. And it actually worked for her. It worked for her at first, you understand? At least people reached out to her, VDM,
yes.
and the like.
I think they even crowdfunded for her.
You understand?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day now, it has spoiled her reputation. You understand? It's spoiled her reputation. But let's not talk about our own case now. Let's talk about the accused. The person she accused that raped her. It also spoiled that guy's reputation.
But did she actually accuse anyone? Because I think that was the argument a lot of persons were pushing at the time. That she didn't specifically, you know, accuse anybody.
Someone.
Yes.
I really didn't follow up on
story.
the case actually. But I think I heard some rumors of someone being accused.
At some point when she was being interrogated, I think she was trying to paint a picture of a certain guy, you know, a tall, dark guy. But I guess it was somewhere in the middle of that the truth came out, that it was all a cooked up story. But some persons are beginning to say that if the truth was not uncovered early enough, she probably could have pinned it on someone.
Yes, and that was what she was already doing during the interrogation. Yes, she was already pinning it on someone. Maybe she did not think about her story well enough.
Okay.
You understand? There are some people that I would say they don't know how to lie. They use lie to cover up lies, and during the process, they keep exposing their lies.
Their lies.
You
Okay, so
understand?
the more lies
you tell, the more you expose your
previous
lies you get. So that was what really happened in our own case. But for instance, now that she actually pinned it on that guy, you get, and now the guy is serving jail sentence, or the guy was already in court. Do you know? Funny enough, do you know? This false rape allegation, they are rare. They are not common.
Really?
Yes, because according to statistics, out of 100 people, 90, out of 100 cases, 90 are actually true. You get 10 are false. But do you know why the minority, I would say, let me just put it in a phrase, the loud minority, you get, the reason why that 10 is what you keep on hearing, you might not even hear about the 90, is because, like I said, rape is a very disgusting act. It goes viral.
Okay.
You understand? It's what social media feeds on. That's what the fuels on. You understand? So once they can see, most times out of the 90, some of them, they might not even speak out.
Okay.
They might not speak out
for fear of stigmatization.
Stigmatization, and maybe if the case is not judged properly, what is going to happen to them? You understand? So they'll just chill. They'll just stay locked in. Sometimes court where we slow the case down, keep on adjourning. To avoid all those expenses and all those pains, they'll just stay locked in.
Okay.
You understand? So that's why we keep on hearing about the false rape allegation. But according to the statistics, they are very rare.
Okay.
You get, that's just it. So now, let's go back to the accused. That's been accused. You accuse someone now of rape. You are terminating his image. There's a probability that he's going to lose his job for that. Just for one line, one word that you said against him, just one lie that you tell against him. He might lose his job.
Lose his reputation.
His
mental health.
Imagine he's looking for another job now, and the boss of the company decided to search his name up on Google. The first thing that's going to come out is
the tag.
The tag, a rapist. You said it the case has been judged, you discover that the guy is actually innocent. But according to social media will always still tag him as a rapist.
All right, that's a very disturbing one, if you ask me. But I would like us to take a look at how society, reacts to cases of rape. Okay, now we saw what happened during the Mirabel case.
Yeah.
How some celebrities took it up. Of course, one particular person that was caught up in the fire was Simi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simi, the singer. Of course, we all know how passionate Simi has always been, with regards to, rape and assault cases. Of course, she's very, vocal about defense of the female child, of the girl child, right? But at a certain point, when it was discovered that Mirabel was lying, I think somebody asked her what she had to say about that. And then she asked the person to shut the F up.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So why do people become so, should I say, inhuman? Or should I say biased in this case now? Because, okay, we understand that you are trying to protect the female child.
Okay.
As a girl child that you are yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it was later discovered that the girl child herself was lying. So why did she stand her ground and refuse to, put into consideration the reputation of the person that was lied against, or the potential victim of a false rape allegation?
Okay. In a situation like this now, it's not only Simi that is affected. Let's say in this case now, Simi is affected. In other cases, most times it might not be only Simi. We can hear of NGOs that are also affected, that come out at first to support the girl, and after discovering that the girl was lying, they'll just, you understand, they'll just chill out, don't say anything else. This thing, first of all, they just jump into conclusion. There's no evidence.
And that's a $1 million question. Why are people always so quick to jump into conclusion?
Yeah. That's I would say that's the human mentality. It's a human mentality. You understand? They have this, according to biology, I think is a immune. I've forgotten what they call it in science, that makes people act before they think. You understand? It's something that comes with all humans. You see cases that somebody will say fire, 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 fire. Before you check if it's true, you're already out of the window already. You understand? It's a immune that comes with the human body. You act before you think. That's what is actually happening to these people. You get? There's no evidence. You're already acting already. You're already judging. Or trying to protect the girl child. You are trying to, yes, you are doing the right thing. You are trying to protect the girl child. Okay, now
that the truth is out.
That the truth is out. Why can't you just apologize? You understand? Apologize to the public and let the public know that your motive was actually to protect the girl child. Accept your blame.
I'm glad you made mention of motive, because at some point people were beginning to question her motive, right? On the surface, it looks like she's defending the girl child.
Yeah.
But if you take a deeper look, it actually gives us the impression that she's probably just being a misandrist.
Yes,
she's against men.
She's against men.
Because if the truth is out and you've been told that the girl lied after all, what were you supposed to do? Tender an apology.
It's simple. She made a very wrong move by replying that guy like that, by replying a fan. And funny enough, the guy would definitely be a fan. Everybody loves Simi.
Of course.
Yeah, everybody takes her in high regard, in high esteem.
If not for any other reason, for her music.
Yes. But now what she did now, she has just pulled down her own reputation. She lost followers. You get, for just 1 4-letter words. I think it's just a 4-letter words, STFU. You get, she has lost her reputation. I don't know why she feel like that is going to protect her. But it was a very, very wrong move from someone like Simi.
Okay, let's examine the impact of false rape allegations on the victims. In what ways, in what practical ways do you think it actually affects, people who have been accused, wrongly accused of rape? How do you think it affects them?
First of all, their mental health. It affects their mental health because your phone now, take a look at this now. media houses, let me use the newspapers for example. There's a case, a rape case. You check their headlines, on their front cover is written in bold letters. You get, on their front covers, written in bold letters. Now, when the truth is out, you will see that news in page 10, written in small letters, no longer
in capitals.
You get. Now, let's come to social media.
In other
now.
words, the damage has been done.
The damage has been done and can't be undone.
Okay.
Let's come to social media now. Your phone, your laptop, your computer is something that you take everywhere with you. It goes to your bedroom, you're in Canada, you're in any country, is with you. You get, imagine opening your phone now and let me say you're on X, you just open your X app, your Twitter app, and first thing you start seeing your face, your name, your pictures everywhere as the accused. Your mental health is affecting your mental health. It affects your sociality with others. Now you want to be alone. It leads to depression. In most cases, it leads to suicide. Because you can't stand the ground. Going somewhere now, everywhere, like that guy.
So there's a stigma.
There's a stigma that moves along with it. Like I said now, no company
would want to associate with
someone like that, that has that stigma, that tag to his name. Family self, some family self, they might not want to be with you anymore.
Because you've brought
shame to the family.
Okay.
You understand? There's a lot of insult that goes with it. Even if finally that you are being cleared, your name is cleared.
Yeah.
The words are already there already. They have been said already.
All right. Just a quick one. What should the legal system do? Because I think the legal system is not balanced enough.
It's not balanced enough.
The same, there's this vigor with which the law goes after the accused.
Okay.
Right? Especially when a lady cries out and cries out about being raped or being assaulted. The law doesn't take it lightly. But it seems like when it is discovered that such allegations were false, the energy isn't the same. So why is it so?
I just feel it's the system of the country, because according to the constitution, it's actually in the law. You understand that a rapist should be judged accordingly. You understand? Then someone that falsely accused another person should also be judged. There's a fine for it.
Do you think a fine is enough? Because some persons have been advocating lately, especially with the with recent developments, that the same penalty that goes to rapists should also go to false salamists.
Yeah, that's why most people are getting it wrong. I won't say I'm not in support of that.
Okay.
I'm totally in support of that. You understand? But take a look at it this way now. You say, let's say, death sentence, immediate death sentence to a rapist. That's the law. That's what the law says. Immediate death sentence to a rapist, and immediate death sentence to someone that lied.
Okay.
You get? Now, take a look at those people that were actually raped, but they don't have enough evidence to prove that they have been raped. What are you going to say about that?
Well, that is the more reason, people should gather enough evidence before making such a grave allegation, don't you think?
Yes, gather enough evidence. But what if you don't have enough evidence to gather now? Should the person just keep quiet? Because I don't have enough evidence to prove that I was actually raped.
Well, in all honesty, before you get to, I think there are layers to this thing, there are levels to this thing. You could speak to someone. For example, there are, family members, friends that you could speak to. But before you take it to a court of competent jurisdiction, then you must have your evidence. You see, the court of law is a different ballgame entirely.
Yes.
You understand? So what I'm asking is it proper that people who come out to lie against others, over rape allegations are let off the hook, while the rapists themselves are prosecuted?
I won't agree they should be let off the hook. They should be punished
Okay, but you're saying that the sentence or the punishment should be lesser?
Yes, should be, not it should be lesser, it should be considerable, so that not to keep the real victims
not to discourage
quiet.
Okay.
You understand? Not to keep the real victims quiet. You understand? But at least, okay, now the victim now, like according to the VAPP Acts, I've actually forgotten the full name for that acronym, is actually the Constitution. The fine to falsely accuse someone that lied is actually, I think, 6 months in jail. Just for lying that someone raped you. 6 months in jail, you pay a sum of 300, 500,000. You get, that should be fair enough.
You think so?
Yes, it should be fair enough, because now, you that don't have any money, you are coming out to lie, or you are thinking of it now that you are going to serve a 6J term.
Okay.
You think twice before you come out to lie. Because you are coming out to lie now, definitely you have no little evidence, or even if you have enough evidence, proper interrogation will prove that you are definitely lying.
Okay.
You get. So now the laws should be taken accordingly. Like our system now, like I said this earlier, the system is actually corrupt.
Okay.
The person can just bring something, 1 or 2 things, then the case will just die down there. So it's very wrong. I think the law there, the 6 months jail term, is actually okay.
It's fair enough.
It's fair enough.
Okay.
But they should be effective.
It
should not just be in writing.
It shouldn't just be on paper.
It shouldn't just be on paper. It should be effective.
All right, as we begin to wrap up now, what's your parting word? What's your word of advice, to young men out there who have been, of course, it's a very broad subject, because there's also a category of guys who were molested, sexually molested as children, right?
Yeah.
But that's a different ballgame entirely. It's a different conversation entirely. But what's your advice for young men who have been falsely accused of rape at one point in time or the other, as we begin to wrap up?
My advice for them out there is that they shouldn't just take things to heart like that. The deed has been done already. I know in most cases, most guys will want to commit suicide or even take revenge on the girl. You understand? They should just take, at least they should I say they should accept their fate, because it has already been done. Let me not say they should accept their fate. You get?
I don't think they should accept their fate. They should speak up.
They should speak up.
The same way rape victims should speak up.
Definitely they are going to speak up. You understand? Yeah. Definitely they are going to speak up. But the law is the law that should take the drastic move.
Okay.
The law, because now those people now, they don't have anything to do. If you tell them that they should not take revenge, they'll just sit there. The blame has already been on them. It's the law that should take the drastic move.
Okay, so your advice actually goes to the law.
The law, yes, the government. Anybody that is stigmatizing them should be punished. The person that accused them should be punished.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel Walter, for your amazing contribution. I actually do wish we had more time, but of course, time is never our friend on this program. But a very big thank you, for taking our time to be with me on the Guys Hangout show tonight. Well, you've heard from the horse's mouth. The legal system ought to be strengthened. That's the only way, all of these will come to an end. Rape is just as bad as false rape allegations, so neither of them is better than the other. Okay, please. You don't have to rape anyone. You don't have to rape anyone. Sex or intimacy should be based on consent. If she says no, let it be no. Walk away. Okay? And then do not use rape or rape allegation as a weapon to get back at someone. If you don't like someone, or if somebody offended you in any way, look for ways to settle scores with that person rather than using rape as, a weapon, because there are serious consequences. Well, it's been an amazing show tonight, and I want to say a very big thank you to each and every single one of you out there. My name is Harry Aigboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and good night.
ITV, certainly the best.